This is Yvette from Gleaming with Evie. I'm a licensed esthetician here in Los Angeles, California. I do facials, lashes, and brows, and that's what this channel is all about. So if you're into any of that, make sure to subscribe down below so you can see a lot more of my work and a lot more of what it's like to be an esthetician. Lash artist, we see them everywhere. You hear about them all the time. It is a growing industry. You hear that everywhere. But how exactly do you become a lash artist in California? To be honest with you, that's what I was asking myself back in, I believe in 2018 is when it started kind of intriguing me, but I didn't really start looking into it until like 2019, like early 2000. So it was like late 2018, early 2019 when I was like, how do you become a lash artist on Google? Because I didn't know anyone in the lash industry. I didn't know anyone in the beauty industry, period. I was in the restaurant industry at this time. So I just knew people who were trying to become actors and actresses, people who were just trying to figure their life out like me. But I never really saw people or knew people, anyone that was a lash artist or that had their foot in the door already. So I went on Google, you know, I was like, well, you know, who else do I ask? So I went on Google, I was like, how do you become a lash artist in California? And obviously Google is going to tell you the way things are supposed to be legally. And the reason why I'm saying legally is because I know a lot of people decide to just get certified rather than actually going for a license. To each their own, no judgment here, but legally you have to have a license through the state to either be a cosmetologist or an esthetician. We're washing, okay? We're multitasking right now. If you hear that sound in the back, that swoosh, it's the washing machine, sorry. But yeah, I you know, if you want to become a lash artist here in California, you do have to be licensed by the state, or else legally you're not doing it. You're not doing it legally, you know? And it could be a little controversial. It's obviously it's a little controversial because some people are like, you don't need to have your license to be able to perform lash extensions. They don't even teach you any of that, and whatever. We could all believe whatever we want. At the end of the day, through the state, legally, you have to have a license to be able to perform these services. So with that being said, you do have to go to school, get your aesthetics license. That's usually about 600 hours, or you can get here in California, or you can get your cosmetologist license, which I believe is like 1600 hours. But you guys, as soon as you get this license, even if lash artistry is like what you want to do, it just opens the door to so many things. And not only that, but you could advance so much more into your career. And so I did want to mention that not getting your license, I feel like you're doing yourself a disservice if you're just wanting to like do lashing as a side hustle. Well, do lashing as a side hustle because you're not going to be able to make it an official business because you don't have your license. So I do feel like it's very beneficial to get your license. So with that being said, not everyone gets your license right off the bat, and it's okay. My thing is definitely have in mind that like that's a goal. You know, even if you're just doing lashes right now, have it in your mind like eventually I want to go get my license because I want to have my own business. I want to create my own products, or I want to have my own salon, whatever it may be. Without a license, you cannot do any of that. So definitely, like, even if you don't plan on doing it now, plan on doing it eventually, you know? With that being said, when I started school, I thought there was gonna be a whole bunch of girls just like me who did not really know a thing about the beauty industry, but you kind of get a mixture of everything. You get some people who maybe are coming back, who like got one license and they're like, you know what, I really want to hone in on skincare instead, so I'm going to be an esthetician. Or you have it vice versa, where like the esthetician wants to do something in cosmetology, and so they'll go back to school for that. So you do get those people. Then you have the other people or individuals who, let's say, are already pretty established. So I know there were some people who were already offering sugar waxing. There were some people who were already doing lash extensions. So just very quickly, just so you guys can get an idea, when I first started school in my actual class, well, I started in 2020. Let's start with that. It was summer of 2020, July 2020. Everything was pretty much closed in Los Angeles County, but in Orange County things were already kind of open. So I did go to school out in Orange County, and yeah, a lot of the girls in my class, which the class was very small because of the thing that was going around, is still going around, I don't know, whatever. But the class was very small. I believe there was like 6 or 8 of us, and we were all just estheticians. And in my class alone, I believe more than half of them were already lash artists. Some of them were already teaching. Some of them were still lashing, you know, whatever. I actually took a lash class with one of them. My very first lash class was with one of my classmates. I love her so much, Brie, if you're watching this, love you. But yeah, a lot of the girls were already pretty established doing lash extensions, and so it kind of feels a little like what am I doing, you know, like what am I doing getting into this? But you just have to remember that everyone starts where you are, and you know, you just kind of have to build from there. So go to school, get your 600 hours. Then once you get licensed by the state, and I think even some lash educators, they will accept you if you're enrolled in school. I know not everyone who teaches lashes asks for a license already, but if they do, just know they're doing things the right way. But you can find a lash educator anywhere. Will they be good? Who knows? To be honest with you, like, there are so many classes out there, and I can tell you that they are not all good. So when you are thinking of taking a class, okay, so let me retract a little bit. So you have to get your license. Once you get your license and you're licensed by the state, you're gonna have to go and take a separate class, and this applies to like whatever you want to specialize in. So like in this case it's lash extensions, but let's say you want to specialize in Brazilian waxing, or you want to specialize in sugaring, or whatever it may be, or maybe like brows, whatever it may be, you have to take another class. Usually in school they focus a lot more on like sanitation and teaching you like the anatomy of the human, and just teaching you about modalities, just giving you more of like the big scope of what it is. And so it is a lot of information, but the main thing is pretty much client safety. They want to make sure that like what you're doing is not going to spread any diseases, what you're doing is not going to cause any harmful effects to someone, you're not going to damage someone's skin, things like that. And so that's what those 600 hours are going to be focused on, and that's what you're going to get tested on. So once you're out of that school, you kind of feel like you don't know much, but you really do end up knowing a lot. You just don't end up knowing a lot on what it is that you're trying to like specialize in. So in my case, it was lashing, being a lash artist. I will say though, when I was in school, I found a newfound love in skincare, and so 2 of my biggest services are facials and lashes. As you guys can see here on my channel, I do a lot of skincare, but yeah, lashes was the reason why I went into the industry in the first place. So once you get certified, I mean once you get licensed, or even while you're in school, you can start looking up any teachers or educators in lash extensions. Typically these courses could go from something as low, I believe I've seen $100 for like just an online ebook. Do not get that, please. I would do something between the ranges of maybe like $800 or $900 to like $2,000, $2,500. You can literally find classes in between these prices. I will say $800 or $900 is probably still on the low range. Like maybe unless you know this individual and you're like, I know that you're gonna teach me really good, chances are those classes are not gonna, like, they'll teach you how to lash, but they're not gonna go into dimensions, they're not gonna go into like how to place the lash, like a lot of other little things. They're just gonna teach you the basics, you know, about curls, about the diameter and length of lashes, and they're going to teach you like how to isolate very quickly, but not really. And then you kind of end up teaching yourself, or you end up having to get another class that will teach you more. So just so you know, definitely do research on the aesthetic school that you're gonna go to, or beauty school in general if you plan on doing the Cosmo program. And make sure to do your research on which lash educator you're gonna go to, because like I said, a lot of people like to just teach and to take your money, but they really aren't teaching you much. So stay away from those $100 ebooks, please. Stay away. I know these sound tempting, and you know, this person might be telling you like it is the best, you're gonna learn so much, but $100 for an ebook, I don't think you're gonna learn a lot of that. And especially when it comes to this type of thing, you really do want, unless they have like amazing videos. So like Yoyi's, I'm sure her online course is like perfect. I've taken Lash Artistry's online course as well, and I actually really enjoyed it. It took me a long time, but I really enjoyed it, and I really liked how they go into detail with a lot of stuff. But I'm pretty sure a $100 ebook is not gonna go into details about placement and like just everything that, like I said, the Lash Artistry or Yoyi's manual probably has. So do some research. Don't go for this cheap stuff, especially when it comes to your education. This is an investment in yourself, and that's how you have to look at it. You have to look at it as, you know, I'm investing this money, but once you start providing these services, that is going to pay for itself. Those classes, all that time that you spent, all those early mornings that you just did not want to get up and go to school for, they're going to pay off, okay? They're going to pay off, and you're in a year or two, you're going to be like, wow, like I really did that, you know? So don't be discouraged because you might not have the time or the money. Look at it as an investment. You're definitely gonna have to make some sacrifices. I know I did. I still am, because I still can't afford everything that I want, and so I have to say no to hanging out with my friends to save up my money and be able to do what I want eventually, you know? So yeah, that is how you become a lash artist here in California. You get licensed, you get certified, and then you can start working right away. I will say building a clientele is a whole other thing in its own. So yeah, it sounds very easy to go get educated and like, boom, I'm ready to go. But like then you might also want to take a marketing class if you plan on opening your own business. Once you're certified and you have your license, you can go work for someone else. If you don't have your license, you can't work for someone else. I don't know if many people who go into into the lash industry, I don't know if many people actually want to work for someone else. I feel like a lot of us get into the industry because we want to be our own boss. More power to us, duh. But if you are an individual who maybe, which right out of the aesthetic school, it's actually very recommended to go work at like a spa or something, just to get some more of that hands-on, and then a year or two later you can go on your own. Same thing with lashes. Maybe once you get certified, you're like, I'm ready to go, but once you're really behind that chair and behind the person's head, you're like, you know what, I'm actually not ready. You might want to go work for someone else. They'll probably teach you more of like speed lashing. They'll provide you with the supplies and the clients, so you're not going to have to worry about like, where am I going to get clients from? Which if you guys want me to make a video on that, I totally can. I'm not gonna say that I am fully booked, because I'm not, but I do have returning clients, and I'm able to pay my bills, is what I always tell people. I'm like, look, I'm able to pay my bills and I have returning clients. I think I'm doing something right. You know? So if you guys want a video on how I do my marketing and how I get clients, I can definitely do that for you. Leave it down in the comments. But definitely if you just got certified, be prepared to do a lot of work, not just physically with lashing, but like you're gonna have to, if you're on Instagram or whatever social media you're on, promoting your stuff, you're gonna want to create a lot of content for that. So definitely make sure to prepare for that. Prepare to just fully invest a lot of time and money into this, you know. So yeah, just to highlight everything, you have to get certified, get licensed, get certified, and then you can go ahead and work on your own. Of course, you have to get insurances and all of that, but that is just something else. Just in order to become a lash artist, you have to get licensed and you have to get certified. Now, I know some people are like, well, I can't really afford getting going in debt right now. I don't know, maybe a lot of schools do offer loans. I do want you guys to know a lot of schools do offer loans. I got a loan. It might be forgiven, I don't know. With this whole thing that's going on right now with the student debt forgiveness, I don't know if I'm going to be a part of it. But either way, I owe less than half now than with what I borrowed. So it's possible to pay it off. Like I said, it is possible to pay it off. But if you feel like, you know, like you're just not ready or you're not able to get that loan, maybe start, you know, doing lashes. It's okay. But like I said earlier, just have it in your mind as a goal. Like, I will go to school and get licensed. Don't just, and I've had clients who tell me that like they were going to like someone else and they were doing it as like a side job, and they're like, yeah, you know, like I've been going to her for like years. I believe the most I had someone tell me was 5 years. They were going to someone for 5 years, and she's like, but she still works at Trader Joe's, is what she was telling me, that this lash artist was still working at Trader Joe's after doing lashes for 5 years. And I was just like, what? How are you doing lashes for that long and not fully focused on just lashes? Whatever, you know, like I said, to each their own. But if you have a license and you are doing lash extensions, you open so many doors to you. You could go rent a spa, you can make a full-on business out of this. You can, like, it's just a whole stream of like doors that you just open for yourself. So definitely, if you do decide to go that route, just make it a goal to eventually go to school. Could be 2 years from now, it could be 3 years from now, whatever it may be. Just have that in your mind, like, I'm gonna go to school for this and I'm gonna make my own business, or whatever your goal is, you know, with the lash industry. But anyway, I hope I didn't bore you. I very quickly wanted to say that I love the way I did it. I'm so happy that I ended up going to get licensed and then got certified, because you know what? I got that big chunk out of the way. Like, look, now I don't have to worry about being fully booked and still dealing with school. Now I can just focus on getting clients, getting people in, focus on my craft, perfecting it, you know. And like, I don't have to be like, oh my god, I have to enroll in school, and you guys, I can't, you know, work these, my hours are about to be shorter because I'm going to be going to school part time, and then it ends up taking you 8 months instead of 6 months to complete your course, because instead of doing it full time, you ended up doing it part time. And just, I am just happy I took school out of the way. But do what works for you. Do what works for you, with you in your life. But if you are thinking of becoming a lash artist, do it. Do it and don't quit. When things get hard, do not quit, because it's gonna get hard and you're gonna be like, should I still keep doing this? Do it. Don't stop. Everyone always says that. Don't give up. Don't stop. It's hard at first, but do not give up. Don't stop. And so it's so true. Don't give up. Do it. Start looking into beauty schools. Check out the prices. Just because you talk to the school does not mean that you're already committed to go to it. You can ask them all the questions that you want. You can ask for a tour. Even with the tour, you're still not committed to that. You're just checking out the campus, checking out their setup, their beds, you know, whatever, their classes. And ask questions, you know. You're going to want to ask questions for the school. You're going to want to see how many people actually get licensed from that school. You're going to want to see how many job opportunities do they have there once they graduate from school. You know, just a lot of little things like that you're going to want to find out. So definitely do some research. I hope this was a really good like video to answer some of the questions that you had. But go on Google if you want to. Maybe stay on YouTube and look for more answers if that's like your thing, kind of my thing. But yeah, if you're gonna become a lash artist, good luck. If you are a fellow lash artist, hi, hope you're doing well. And I will be back with another video next time. I'll see you guys later. Bye.